What's going on, guys? This is another episode here in Nolan's Pod. Um, Today we're going to be talking about Major League Baseball since baseball is back. Spring training is just about done. The Tokyo series between the Dodgers and Cubs got underway Tuesday and Wednesday morning in the Tokyo series. The Dodgers took those two games, of course. The Dodgers really don't have any weaknesses, and the Cubs kind of do. But the real season, so the Cubs and Dodgers season got started 1 week early. Opening day is a week from today, which is next Thursday. That's when real opening day really starts for all the rest of the other 28 teams or 32 teams in the league, however many teams they are, I forget. But real opening day is coming next week. So let's get into who I think is going to win each division this year. The AL East is always a tough division because you have good teams like the Yankees, the Red Sox, Baltimore over the last 3 years. You have the Blue Jays. They're inconsistent, but at times they're really good. You have the Tampa Bay Rays. They've been good over the last few years. The last 2 years have not been their season. So the AL East is always competitive. I have finishing in the AL East first. I have the Yankees finishing first. I have Baltimore finishing second. I have the Red Sox finishing third. I have the Blue Jays finishing fourth. And I have the Tampa Bay Rays finishing fifth. For the Yankees, Garrett Cole and Luis Gil are hurt, along with DJ LeMahieu and Giancarlo Stanton. So Garrett Cole is your ace. Luis Gil won Rookie of the Year last year. Obviously, Giancarlo Stanton is a huge piece to the Yankees lineup. DJ LeMahieu, ever since he's been a Yankee, he's always been in and out of the Yankee lineup, hurt all the time, off and on. But this team is still good enough, in my opinion, to compete and be first in the American League East. They added Cody Bellinger. They added Paul Goldschmidt. You have Carlos Rodon as your starting pitcher. He's pitching opening day. You have Marcus Stroman. You have Will Warren. You have Clark Schmidt. Those will be your other starters. They also added, on the pitching side of things, they also added Devin Williams, all-star closer from the Milwaukee Brewers. And they added Max Fried in free agency, former Brave. So the Yankees have enough. They have enough to win this division still without Garrett Cole. I had the O's finishing second. The O's have the youthful talent, the youthful exuberance with Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, Jackson Holliday, Colton Cowser, Hurston Kerstead, and they added Tyler O'Neill. They lost Anthony Santander, so that's why they added Tyler O'Neill. Pitching is a concern for the Baltimore Orioles. The Red Sox have finished in third in this division. They added pitchers Walker Buehler and Garrett Crochet. Those are two studs. You have Lucas Giolito, you have Cutter Crawford, you have Tanner Houck, and you have Brian Balo. So a lot of good pitching for the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox also added Alex Bregman, former Houston Astro third baseman. You have a great lineup with him, Tristan Casas, Rafael Devers, Trevor Story, Jarren Duran, Sandane Rafaela. So you have a good mixture of offense and a good mixture of pitching. Now, saying that the Red Sox are going to finish third in the American League East, that's not a knock on the Red Sox. That's just how good this American League East is. It's really competitive, as I told you guys. The Blue Jays have strong pitching. Chris Bassett, Jose Barrios, Kevin Gausman. They signed Max Scherzer. They added Anthony Santander on offense to play left field. You still have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette. Vlad did not sign an extension. That's a huge concern. They may lose him, and depending on how their season goes, he may get traded at the trading deadline. And then Bo Bichette, we know Bo Bichette is a good player when healthy. What is he going to do if he can stay healthy? We know his chances of being pretty good are high if he stays healthy. He just has to put it all together and stay healthy. The Tampa Bay Rays have went through for the last 2 or 3 years. What they're gonna do is unknown. I have them finishing 5th in the American League East. In the AL Central, I have the Detroit Tigers finishing 1st. I had the Cleveland Guardians finishing 2nd. I had the Kansas City Royals finishing 3rd. I had the Minnesota Twins finishing 4th, and the White Sox finishing 5th. The Tigers, they added Alex Cobb and they added Jack Flaherty for that pitching staff. You also have Casey Mize, Reese Olson, and their ace, Tarek Skubal. So you have a good pitching staff. They also added Gleyber Torres to play second base, and they have a lot of youthful talent. You got Kerry Carpenter, you got Riley Green, you still got Spencer Torkelson. I'm forgetting somebody. You still got Javier Baez. So, they took a step forward, the Detroit Tigers. They took a huge step forward last year when it didn't look like they were going to make the playoffs. A.J. Hinch got that team going last year after the trade deadline, and they never looked back, and they're going to take more steps forward this year. Finishing 2nd in the division, I have the Cleveland Guardians, who made the playoffs last year under manager Stephen Vogt. You still have Jose Ramirez. They lost Josh Naylor. You still have all-star closer Emmanuel Clase. You have a lights-out bullpen. The Cleveland Guardians bullpen was really good last year, so that's why I have them finishing 2nd in the American League Central. The young up-and-coming Kansas City Royals, who had lost 100-plus games the year before, made the playoffs last year and surprised all of us. They have a strong starting pitching with Cole Reagans, Seth Lugo, Michael Waka, Chris Bubik, Michael Lorenzen. They added Carlos Estevez and Jonathan India. Carlos Estevez, closer, potentially. He can pitch the 8th inning if you need him to. And then Jonathan India, he's going to play second base. And then you got young stud Bobby Witt Jr. So this team, they're going to take more steps again, just like they did last season. Minnesota Twins. I don't believe in the Minnesota Twins at all. I just don't. And if they're going to make any run, starting pitching is definitely going to carry them. They have strong starting pitching with Pablo Lopez, Joe Ryan, Bailey Obert, and Chris Paddock. I have those guys finishing 4th in the AL Central. The White Sox are the White Sox. We know they're not going to be good. It's not nothing to talk about with the White Sox. The American League West, I have the Texas Rangers finishing 1st. Their rivals, the Houston Astros, finishing 2nd. Seattle finishing 3rd. The A's finishing 4th. The Angels finishing 5th. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So, the Texas Rangers, I have them finishing 1st. They had the pitching with Nathan Eovaldi, Jacob deGrom. They still have other question marks in the rotation because 2 of their guys just got hurt recently. They did sign Patrick Corbin to a major league 1-year deal because 2 of their guys are hurt in that starting rotation. But I think that the Texas Rangers will have enough to overcome that. And those 2 guys that got hurt, they're going to be coming back. So they're going to be just fine. The Texas Rangers offense is loaded. You have Marcus Semien. You have Josh Young when healthy. He's a stud. You have Corey Seager. You have Evan Carter. You have Adolis Garcia. You have Wyatt Langford. You have Jonah Heim. And they added Carson Kelly to go along behind the plate with Jonah Heim. So that's huge for Jonah Heim. They added Jock Peterson. They added Jake Berger. So this offense is loaded for the Texas Rangers. And who's their manager? Bruce Bochy, the legendary Hall of Famer Bruce Bochy. So you know that even though they had a bad year last year, the Texas Rangers, they're gonna bounce back this year, and they have the depth and they have the pieces to put it together to have a great year like we expected them to do last year. The year before last year, when they had a bad year, they won the World Series the year prior. I expect those expectations again for the Texas Rangers. The Houston Astros, I have them finishing 2nd. They lost a lot this year, man. They lost Alex Bregman, man. They lost a lot of pieces. They still have Josh Hader. They have Jose Altuve moving to left field from second base, which I'm not a fan of that. I don't know why they're doing that. I think he's not. I don't know how he's gonna do out there. I really don't. I think it's gonna be really crazy for Jose Altuve out there. They still have Yordan Alvarez. They still have Jeremy Pena. They have that prospect that they traded for, Cam Smith. He's a stud. He's really good. It looks like he's made the team. They added Isaac Paredes. They added Christian Walker. And then finishing third in this division, I have the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners pitching is loaded. I don't trust the Seattle Mariners offense, but their starting pitching is loaded as always. I just don't trust their offense. Julio Rodriguez has to have a bounce back season for them to do something. He's got to. If he plays like he did last year, they don't have a chance to do anything, no matter what that starting pitching does. Fortunate in the AL West, I have the Oakland Athletics, which they moved to Sacramento. We know how that went with that. With them not playing in the Coliseum, so it's gonna be weird to see them playing in Sacramento because we've always known them as the Oakland A's, and they're gonna be playing in Sacramento. They're playing in the minor league ballpark. What makes it so bad? They're not even playing in the major league ballpark. That's the sad thing about the whole situation. They not even, y'all moving, but y'all not even playing in a major league ballpark. Y'all playing in the minor league ballpark, which they will be moving to Las Vegas in 2028. So that's another 3 years away. They're going to be playing in the minor league ballpark for possibly 3 years until their new stadium in Las Vegas is ready. The A's have youthful exuberance, youthful talent. They added Luis Severino in that starting pitching staff. They have Mason Miller, all-star closer, young catchers Shea Langoliers, J.J. Bleday, Tyler Soderstrom, the young stud Lawrence Butler, the all-star Brent Rooker. They added Gio Urshela for the offense. And the Angels, the A's, they took steps forward last year under Mark Kotsay, the manager. They took steps forward, and they were a competitive team. They weren't a playoff team, but you know that when you played the A's last season, they were going to give you a fight to the end, and it was going to be hard as hell for 9 innings to try to beat this ball club because they were competitive. It just didn't matter. They weren't good, but they weren't that bad either of a team that's in the rebuild. They weren't that bad either, weren't that good either, but they're going to give you a fight like hell every single time you play them, and they're going to take more steps forward this year. The Angels, I have them finishing 5th in this division. I don't expect them to be good under Rod Washington. As last season, they weren't really good. The Angels pitching is always a question mark. Always. They added Yusei Kikuchi. They added Kenley Jansen to close. They added Kyle Hendricks. And on offense, they added Yohan Moncada. They added Jorge Soler. They added Travis d'Arnaud. That's huge. That's huge. Can Mike Trout stay healthy is the key. We know Mike Trout, future Hall of Famer. When healthy, we know that he's Mike effing Trout when he's healthy. When he's not playing, the Angels, when Mike Trout does not play, you don't even want to watch the Angels at all. You don't want to watch them because they're not exciting. When Mike Trout plays, that's the only reason we watch the Angels. That's the only reason I watch the Angels. When Mike Trout plays, that's the only reason I watch the Angels. When he's not playing and he's hurt, I don't even want to turn it on the Angels game. But they added Yohan Moncada, they added Jorge Soler, they added Travis d'Arnaud, as I mentioned to you guys. They still have Taylor Ward, they still have Zach Neto, they still have Luis Rengifo, they still have Logan O'Hoppe, they still have Nolan Shonowell, and they still have Joe Adele. So they have young pieces on this ball club. Can they take steps forward? Can they put it together? I don't think they will. Let's transition to the National League. Let's see. National League. The NL Central, I have the Milwaukee Brewers finishing first. Cincinnati Reds finishing second. The Chicago Cubs finishing third. St. Louis Cardinals finishing fourth. The Pittsburgh Pirates finishing fifth. And I might slightly should change St. Louis and Pittsburgh and flip-flop them around. But I'm going to keep what I have. Because I don't trust the Cardinals. I don't trust Pittsburgh. So I might keep St. Louis fourth. I might keep Pittsburgh fifth. I was going to switch it around. Just keep it how it is, Nolan. Just keep it how it is. Yeah, so okay, here we go. Sorry, guys. The Brewers, they have a strong offense. William Contreras, Reese Hoskins, Bryce Terang, Jackson Cheerio, the young studs, only 21 years old, had an all-star season last year. And that thing, he is the closest thing, is Jackson Cheerio. He's the closest thing to Ronald Acuna Jr. You got Garrett Mitchell. You got Sal Frelick, excuse me. And you got Christian Yelich. So yeah, that team's they're gonna do some things. Finishing second in that division is the Cincinnati Reds. I think the Cincinnati Reds have strong starting pitcher with Hunter Green, Nick Martinez, Nick Lodolo. They added Brady Singer from that trade with the Royals for Jonathan India. And then they have a strong offense. Tyler Stevenson, Matt McClain, TJ Friedel, Jake Fraley, Jameer Candelario, and then Ellie De La Cruz. Ellie De La freaking Cruz. Man, that dude's good. He can steal, he can run, he can hit homers, drive in runs. I think he has the ability to hit for average. I think he has a strong ability to hit for batting average. He just needs to be patient. Finishing third in that division, I had the finishing third in that division. I had the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs have a strong offense. They have a strong offense. I just don't think that the Cubs have the good pitching staff. I just think that the Cubs hitting is really weak. And then finishing fourth in that division is the St. Louis Cardinals. The St. Louis Cardinals are not the team that we once knew that the St. Louis Cardinals were. Will Nolan Arenado get traded is the big question that we have going into this thing. And then you have Wilson Contreras. He's moving to first base. But this St. Louis Cardinals team is not the same team that we know and love. Not at all. Finishing fifth in the NL Central, the Pittsburgh Pirates. The starting pitching is really strong. You start with Paul Skeens, reigning Rookie of the Year, Mitch Keller, Bailey Falter, Andrew Heaney. And then on the offensive side of things, you have O'Neal Cruz, you have Brian Reynolds, you have Key Brian Hayes, you have Andrew McCutchen, you have Joshua Palacios, David Bednar, all-star closer. So you have those guys, man. That's going to do it. The National League West finishing first, I have the Dodgers. The Dodgers are an all-around good team. We know that they're pitching. They have a strong defense, strong offense. Bullpen is really solid. They started the Tokyo series 2-0. The San Diego Padres, I had them finishing second. I had the Arizona Diamondbacks finishing third. I had the San Francisco Giants finishing fourth. I had the Colorado Rockies finishing fifth in that division. Let's see. Dodgers all around good, as I mentioned. The Diamondbacks have a lights out pitching staff. They added Corbin Burns, Cy Young Award winner. They added Zach Gallen. They added Merrill Kelly. They had Eduardo Rodriguez. They had Brandon Falk. So those 5 guys in the Diamondbacks pitching staff is phenomenal. The offense is loaded. Gabriel Moreno, Josh Naylor. They added him from Cleveland. They have Ketel Marte and Eugenio Suarez, Gerardo Perdomo, Jake McCarthy, Corbin Carroll, Pavin Smith. The Colorado Rockies are going to finish 5th in that division. We know Colorado's not going to be good because they have a hitter's ballpark, and the other teams that come into Colorado love hitting that Coors Field because it's a hitter's ballpark. It's hitters friendly. And we know that the Colorado Rockies are going to give up 1 million runs. Finishing 4th in that division is the San Francisco Giants. They added Justin Verlander. They added Willie Adames. The Giants have a strong pitching staff with Logan Webb, Justin Verlander, Robbie Ray, Jordan Hicks, Hayden Birdsong. And then the Padres have them finish 2nd in that division behind the Dodgers. They are strong on both sides, offense and pitching. On pitching, they have Dylan Cease, Michael King, Yu Darvish, Nick Pivetta, all-star closer Robert Suarez. On offense, they have Luis Ariz, Jake Cronenworth, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, who should have been Rookie of the Year last year, Jackson Merrill, instead of Paul Skeens. Jackson Merrill's playing for something because he got robbed of Rookie of the Year because of sensational Paul Skeens. Fernando Tatis Jr., of course. They added Connor Joe and Jason Hayward for left field. This team is going to be really good. Let's see. And then last but not least, in the National League East, the Braves, the Phillies, the Mets are strong on both sides. Pitching, offense, Braves, Phillies, and Mets have. Even though the Mets have a couple of starting pitching injuries, the Mets are still going to be solid, and those starting pitchers are going to be coming back off the injuries. So those 3 teams, the Braves, the Phillies, the Mets. I have Washington finishing 4th. I have the Marlins finishing 5th. Number 1 is the Braves. Number 2 is the Phillies. Number 3 is the Mets. That's who I have in the National League East. That concludes the episode and my expectations for this Major League Baseball season. We're winning the World Series. Look at my shirt. We winning the World Series.